Okay, so today we're working with linear perspective. And basically, by the end of class, I want you to have something that looks like this, with these geometric shapes that look like they're popping off the page. And that's what linear perspective is. It's using what's called a vanishing point and a horizon line to create the illusion of 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional surface, like things are popping off our page. All right, so the first thing you're going to need to think about are your supplies. So today, you're going to need a piece of paper like this one, a ruler, and then the pencils are there at your tables. So on the back of your assignment, make sure to write your name and your table number. So name, I'm sitting at table 1 right now. Voila. Make sure it's easy to find. All right, then flip your paper over. And your first step is to start with your horizon line. So in the middle of my paper, I line up my ruler and I draw a line across my paper. Let's see if we can get this where there's less of a glare so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Well, I'll just lift it up and show you. So there's my line. All right, now next I'm gonna put a dot on that line. This is my vanishing point. So now we have 2 vocabulary terms here. The horizon line, which separates what's called our ground from our sky, and our vanishing point. Now next, anywhere on this piece of paper, you're gonna draw a geometric shape. I recommend starting out with something simple like a square and a rectangle, which is exactly what I'm gonna show you here. But then as you get the technique down, don't be afraid to experiment with shapes that are a little more complicated today. So, I like to make sure that my shapes are nice and straight, and you're gonna wanna do that with your final example, so I'm definitely gonna draw it with a ruler. And this takes some practice to get these lines straight, even when you're using a straight edge. So it's good to get that practice done now with your sketch rather than try and figure that out when you're starting your final. I'm gonna think about really holding my ruler straight. And maybe using an eraser to clean up any smudges. All right, so now I have my rectangle. Next, we're gonna work with what's called a converging line. So we're gonna take the corners of the rectangle and we're gonna match those corners up with the vanishing point using a ruler. These, again, are called our converging lines. Now I'm going to show you some of those converging lines, and then I want you to pay special attention to this corner here and what I do with that converging line. So I'm lining up my corners and my dot, drawing those on there. And now I have my converging lines. Notice that I did not do this corner. And the reason I didn't do this corner is because my shape is not see-through. So I wouldn't see this because all of this is covered up, as well as this part back here is covered up. So I don't need to draw that. All right? Now next I'm going to show you a circular shape because those are a little bit different. So I'm going to draw a circle up above my horizon line. All right? And match it up with my vanishing point. I'm going to freehand my circle, but you could find something in the room to do a nice, perfect circle with. So now I have my circle. Circles don't have corners, so this makes it a little bit tricky, but it's still going to go to the vanishing point. So I'm going to find the edge with my ruler, where my ruler hits that circle edge, and then I'm going to draw my line to the vanishing point, both at the bottom and the top of my circle. All right, so now it looks like my circle is 3-dimensional. All right, so
this morning will be indoor recess, and
indoor
we'll
recess,
check
people.
in for our other recesses. Thank you.
All right, now, just like I did on here, On my more final example, I'm going to continue to experiment with different types of shapes. Notice I have a prism or a triangle up here, and different areas. So this one sits right on the horizon line. Try that one out. See if you can figure it out. These ones are below and this one's above.